Okay. So now anytime I need to do anything computer related, I have to walk all the way down to the library, and, even then, it's not the best option I really have. I had this one lab assignment where I had to use Google Earth, and I couldn't use it because the library does not allow for installation of outside resources for some reason. But, Professor, why didn't you just borrow a friend's laptop? Well, if I had any friends, this would be my response. What do I do when the lab is completed? There are other times that I'm going to need a computer, and I'm not always going to have access to friends. If we could just always use another person's laptop, why would I buy a laptop in the first place, No. You're supposed to get your own laptop, even if it is expensive, and even if it is a hassle. Oh, no. No, you get your own source of information, you get your own laptop, but even then it's a hassle. Alright, I'll give it some credit. Maybe I am being a little unfair. Maybe I'm being a little too offensive towards technology. I'm sure there are plenty of reasons as to why, we should have so much technology in education. There's a website called EdTech Review. It has a whole article on the benefits of technology in education, and for the most part, I agree with them, but I only agree with what they stand for. They mention how the internet is a limitless library at the fingertips of the youth. Anyone who uses it really ought to know how to specify the youth. And yes, the internet is great. I have nothing but positive things to say about the internet. But I looked through the whole article, and not once did it mention how complete reliance on technology could be beneficial. They only ever talked about how using it to your advantage is beneficial. I honestly can't think of any instance where total reliance on anything, technology especially, is going to be a good idea. In fact, it can only really end disastrously if we are totally reliant on technology. Technology should be an aid. It should be a pair of shoes as opposed to a crutch, if you'll forgive my metaphor. It certainly should not be the hindrance. It should be something simple that everyone should use, and definitely not the hindrance that it's become in the past couple of years. I think I've got enough free time for a couple of, counter-arguments to be acknowledged, so here goes. Well, isn't it a lot cheaper for the universities for them to not provide all these laptops, and isn't it better for the environment if we go paperless? Yes, I'm sure it would be cheaper for the university, but doing the math, they really only would spend about... Yes, I'm sure it would be cheaper for the universities in the same sense that one is less than two, but, not by much. Really, the university, doing the math, would only spend about $1 million total on supplying computers to people who need computers. And I looked it up. The University of Tennessee makes over $453 million a year, so they can handle it. Actually, I'm going to redo that whole paragraph. Yes, I'm sure it would be cheaper for the university in the same sense that one is less than two, but only by a little bit. See, doing the math, the university would only pay about $1 million in total for all of the programs that require computer aid. Especially if they do the whole rental / bring your own technology / buy it at the end of the semester if you want to. And I might also want to add, the university makes over $453 million a year in profit, so, they can handle it. If anything, if they include purchases of the laptops, they would either break even or profit in the long run by doing that. Also, factually speaking, on the subject of the environment and paperlessness, we recycle just about everything here on campus. I rarely see people using trash cans anymore. We're fine for paper. There is a really, really, really low chance that we are going to run out entirely within our lifetimes. This is backed even more so by the fact that professional organizations, like, big business companies, they're going more paperless, while simultaneously not giving assignments every night. So they can afford to not make it inconvenient for their people going paperless. You have to admit, it does make things a lot more organized when everything's digital. Please tell me how it is any different having a cluttered GUI on a website and download upon download, as opposed to having a couple pencils and papers scattered around and then sorting them into color-coded folders. I'm going to start over. Please tell me how it is any different having a terrible GUI interface for any website and download folder upon download folder together on a computer. How is that any different from having a couple of papers scattered around your desk, only to then put them in color-coded folders? The organization skills of people vary from person to person. That has nothing to do with what medium it's in. Online classes and exams are the future, and things could never be more convenient. I honestly feel a little personally attacked by that kind of way of thinking. If that's the future, and that's where we're headed, I'm going to go ahead and turn Amish right now. I'll go ahead and turn in my lab coat. You know how easy it is to cheat on any of those exams, any of those classes? I actually got a message from one of my friends just the other day showing me a picture of him. It was a video, really, of him, recording the tab, press a new tab, copy and paste to the questions, and then there were the answers. He got a 97.5 on that final exam. It was so easy to cheat on there. You're not learning anything and you're not applying any knowledge you have if it's that easy. I could say the same about online classes. The internet is free, yeah, you pay for Wi-Fi, but the internet, like everything on there, it's free. If I want to learn something, I'm going to look it up and learn it on my own time. I'm not going to pay $10,000 to look at how to do 2 + 2 or whatever it is. The internet is free. If I wanted to learn something, I would learn it myself. I would not pay $10,000 to learn how to do trigonometry if it's a necessary course. I look out for me. I learn what I want. So in conclusion, I think it's safe to say this. Technology has overstepped the boundaries of what used to be a good relationship that we had with, computers and phones and all sorts of things that really make our lives easier, because they used to make our lives easier. Now it's mostly become a one-way feeling of annoyance upon annoyance upon annoyance upon annoyance. Really, it's just too many negatives to handle. This isn't even technology's fault. It's the fault of the people who run the system, who think that it's a great idea to put technology into everything simply because we're younger than they are, and they think that this is all we know. We know how to write. We know how to put paper in a basket. We know how to do all sorts of things analog. Believe it or not, we're actually not completely helpless without our phone. It's the fault of those who think they're doing good when really they're just making it harder for all of us. A challenge and a change is one thing, but, an actual obstacle, an actual problem is another. An outright mistake is really what it is, what thinking all of this is. We don't need more technology on campus. We're fine for progress, and we certainly don't need to rely on computers for every little thing that has to do with education. Let me go ahead and make that sound a little better. A challenge and a change is one thing, but an outright mistake is another. We really don't need more technology in education. What we really don't need is technology entirely in our education. If anything, what we need to do is come up with two different options. Analog, or a mix between the two. No, that's not good. Okay, alright, start that over. See, a challenge and a change is one thing. An outright mistake is another. We're fine for progress. We're good on technology. We don't need more of it, and we certainly don't need more of it in education. What we really need to do is find a happy medium, a good balance between the two of them. We can certainly, type all our essays out and then have it look neat and tidy while simultaneously printing them out and turning them in. We can... No. Erase that. What we really need to do is come up with a balance and a happy medium between both being technologically advanced and being analog. And then really once a day that happens, who knows what's going to happen to education. Personally, I think it could only get better from here. Alright, go back. I'm just going to redo the whole final paragraph. Okay. This isn't technology's fault either. It's the fault of the people who think they're doing good when really it's just making it harder for all of us out here. Challenges and changes are one thing, outright mistakes are another. We don't need more technology on campus. We're fine for progress. We're good on computers. We know how to handle ourselves analogically. That's not a word. We don't need more technology on campus. We're good on computers, we're fine for progress, and we can really only do better not having... Oh, no. God damn it. Okay. We don't need more technology on campus. We're fine for computers, we're good on technology, we're doing great on progress. Last try. Last hurdle. A challenge and a change is one thing. An outright mistake is another. We're good on computers. We're fine for technology, and we're great for progress. We really, really do not need any more of this in our education.